It's insane. It's worth a mention. Society has a deep infection. So very lost indeed. Will you follow or leave? It's the same. A society of insanity. Society forgot about reality. They're so very lost indeed. Will you follow or leave? Where you go? So very lost indeed. Where you go? Will you follow or leave? It's the same. There's a sickness to heal. Society, how do you feel? So very lost indeed. Will you follow or leave? Where you go? So very lost indeed. Where you go? Will you follow or leave? There's a new wind blowing. What do you mean? There's a new wind blowing. Will you follow or leave? Society refuse to accept the infection. Society, we're at an intersection. They're so very lost indeed. Will you follow or leave? Where you go? So very lost indeed. Where you go? Will you follow or leave? There's a new wind blowing. What do you need? There's a new wind blowing. Will you follow or leave? There's a new wind blowing. What do you need? There's a new wind blowing. Will you follow or leave? Where you go? So very lost indeed. Where you go? Will you follow or leave? Will you follow or leave? Will you follow or leave? God bless. I sit here now. I speak about the positives first. So I've been in Agrigento for quite a while. I'm now a writer of 41 songs, 41 songs in Agrigento. I'm sitting here in one of my favorite positions, where I play every day. I call it the gateway to reality. There's the famous gateway, right there, right there. And I sit here as a writer of 25 years, with the other artists I work with, clearly displayed, GFE Ultra, and with Dr. Smooth Vibes, we're the Alien Brothers. And now I'm a writer of 41 songs here too, plus 4 in San Leone. The vast majority of the moving adult society choose not to see, hear or feel the living writer in the city tributed to the writer, with my details clearly displayed. Example of that, I've sat here for 4 ore today, 4 hours, and in that time, one very supportive friend who's supported me ever since I arrived, nearly every day, €5, €6, incredible, really supportive, group of friends every day, they support me. And before he stopped, which he stops every day, sometimes twice a day, the very first person to stop in 2 hours was a priest with €5, which meant I could take some food and take a beer. And then the second person to stop was my friend, who supports me every day. And the third person to stop in 4 hours, for a writer of 25 years, with my details clearly displayed, in the city tributed to the writer, was a stranger, someone I don't know. So 3 adults in 4 hours, 4 ore, 4 hours, have shown any compassion or empathy whatsoever for a writer of 25 years in the city tributed to the writer, sitting at the entrance of the city, right here. And sadly, it's much the same scenario every day. Many of the days, if I'm not supported by the friends, which I've got many here, the positive side of the story, many friends here, if I'm not supported by them, then I can go without food. I stayed mainly because I can see the difference that it's made for the children. And I can see a significant difference for the difference it's made to the children and the friends that I've made. And it is a remarkably beautiful city, and I really like being here. But to watch the emptiness, that's just the truth, the emptiness of what a high percentage of the adult society have become. I give another example. Last night and the night before, there's another musician has arrived. He's a violin player. So he sits opposite me, which is kind of against the rules as being a street artist, but it's still very interesting to watch. So while I sit there with my name displayed as a writer, sitting opposite the violin player, 99% take it back. I don't want to say 99%. The vast majority of the moving adults will walk directly past the violin player and the writer with no compassion or empathy whatsoever. Not even an offer of 5 cents or a piece of bread for a writer or a violin player sitting directly opposite each other. And that's why I'm making these videos, to let you, more of you know, as many as I possibly can, about what the adult society have become. Look, there's a writer, there's a poet, there's an artist, there's a musician, there's a homeless brother or sister in need. No, I think I'll just keep walking. With no 5 seconds, with no 5 cents, or no time for any of you. And that's what they've become. And that sadly applies to the vast majority of the moving adult society. The stopped adult society, it's not the problem. They can see and they can hear and they can feel. I see that very clearly everywhere I've been for years. The vast majority of the moving adults are exactly like this. And they're just in here. They're in here. I use it too. I'm using it now to make this video. It's a powerful technology. But the vast majority, they live in here. With an inability, they walk through this city and every city for many years, with an inability to see, hear or feel anything at all, with zero empathy or compassion for any type of musician, poet, artist or writer. I've sat next to incredibly well-talented, super musicians of every single caliber, and artists too, watching the results, sitting on the other side of the canvas, watching how many will come and check the artist's work on the other side of the canvas. I give an example. In Arles, I sat next to an incredible artist watching how many of the moving adults crossing the square of Arles will come and see what the artist is painting on the other side of the canvas. How many will notice a violin player, a pianist, an opera singer, a cello player, or any type of musician, poet, artist or writer? Well, I've watched it all for years, and the answer is this: maybe, just maybe, 1 in 100. And the ones who live in here, they won't see you, hear you or feel you, no matter which type of musician, poet, artist or writer you are. And it's been like this for years. What's worse than the insanity of that is the number that just ultimately do not get it, choose not to get it, and they choose not to see, hear and feel what's taking place 1 single meter away from their position. So I share these videos to try and help more realize there's a whole other world exactly the other way, where there's reality friends, reality musicians, reality poets, reality artists, reality writers, and reality. God bless.